Protecting the brand, as I mentioned, with the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell, joining us in studio. But Greg, welcome back to BYU Sports Nation.
Good morning.
It is a good morning.
Yeah.
It's always good to talk with you. And before we get to basketball, we were just talking about the transfer portal for BYU football specifically. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's essentially broken even at this point. Are you feeling like BYU is a net gain, a net loss at this point in the transfer portal?
It feels kind of even right now with TBD. We don't really know until we've seen them perform how it all turns out, but it feels like BYU's done pretty well. Those are two huge offensive line losses. I mean, the Barrington brothers were big gets when BYU got them, and I think there was even more excitement for Campbell than for Clark, who was great in his own right, and to lose Bowles is a blow. Besides the losses you'll have to graduation or to the draft, sure, you lose a lot of the O-line. Now BYU's gone and found some O-linemen, right? They've at least picked up two. Who knows if there's more to come, but they hit a need there. Clearly they had to hit quarterback, and they did that. It feels like BYU did about as well as they could do for the time being, and let's see how it all shakes out.
So in terms of needs, because we mentioned there's still another week left of this window, then there's one that opens up after spring. So you have opportunities still to be able to maneuver around, but in terms of needs, is it solely focused on the offensive line right now, or is there another area that you would look at and say, hey, maybe that's something to identify?
I don't know. It feels to me like O-line depth probably needs the most work right now, because you didn't just lose starters. You lost, there's some depth issues as well behind the top five. They had a really good top 7-8 last year, I thought. So probably there. I don't know what Jay Hill has in mind in terms of what he really thinks he needs on the defensive side of the ball. I think, Kelly Papinga bringing a couple of Boise State players down from the D-line, where he had a pretty solid overview last year, shows that's already paid some dividends. I think BYU's in a pretty solid spot right now.
Sure. Let's talk quarterbacks. Jake Retzloff is in from Riverside Community College, #1 JUCO quarterback in the state of California. What do you think of the BYU quarterbacks room now with Keaton Slovis, probably the #1, and then Jake Retzloff brought in to push him and then maybe be the guy for the future?
I think that's exactly how you just spelled it out as what they're expecting. You don't bring in Keaton Slovis without the expectation of him being your guy, clearly. But Retzloff is able to, A, provide competition, and B, provide a safety net should something go awry with Keaton Slovis in this next year. And then, the way the redshirt rules work now, he could even play in games and still be available for 2 more years after that. And so you have a solid guy with a lot of reps behind him. Losing your top 2 quarterbacks, if you will, although, Jacob wasn't getting reps, it was all Jaron last year. Losing your top 2 and bringing in 2 guys with as many reps as you've got at either the high, D1, P5 level, or even at JUCO, just the numbers themselves speak for themselves. I think BYU's in good shape there too.
In terms of looking ahead to next year, and obviously everybody's coming out with their way too early predictions. So let's jump aboard that train. Not necessarily wins and losses, but with what we've seen come in the portal, the signing class, the new defensive coaches. What do you make of the group today that will go into the Big 12?
I'd be ecstatic with a winning record for BYU next year.
Amen.
In the first year in the Big 12, really. You never want to set too low a bar, but I think really, considering the losses you have, breaking in a new quarterback, although he's got experience as a new quarterback for BYU, those connections take some time to solidify between coordinator and quarterback and game plan and fit and all that. So if BYU were to find a way to get a winning record next year, the first year in the Big 12, I think that'd be a huge success.
Do you have any hot takes you'd like to add? That was our conversation yesterday.
Yeah, the older I get, the colder my takes get, I think.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll go out on a limb. I'll carry that branch out there.
Okay. And maybe at my age, it's great to still be able to be this excited about something, but the Big 12 era just really gets me going. I'm so excited to get into a new situation, be back in a league again where the competition builds and grows in enthusiasm and intensity week to week and year to year. Rivalries form, familiarity becomes a factor between staffs and styles of play, and the notion of playing for something is always going to be a great motivator for these guys. The bowl games get better. The stage gets bigger. The lights get brighter. And BYU's been in a pretty good spot. I mean, for 12 years of independence, BYU kept a pretty high profile. And so credit to the program and everything that went into it to keeping BYU relevant so that it made sense for BYU to be a Big 12 team after all of this. But I think it's going to be great. New venues and new associations and a whole new vibe. I feel really blessed. When I broke into this, BYU was in the WAC. And from the WAC to the Mountain West, from the Mountain West to Independence, the Independence to Big 12. So 4 different configurations, over the career that I've been able to cover the Cougs. And in basketball, similarly, WAC to Mountain West to WCC to Big 12,
Pretty
4
wild.
conferences. So BYU's been done a lot of bouncing around and found success at every level. And to be able to move to an even higher plane is really exciting.
Listen, Ames, Stillwater, Lubbock, and Morgantown await, Greg.
Yes.
And believe me, I've been going through all the travel options for next year. Who flies where to stay, it's all happening, yeah.
What I'm really hoping is that when BYU plays at Central Florida, that we get like Greg and like mouse ears, like at Disneyland with the crew. Like I'm hoping we get some of those picks.
Do you call yourself a Disney guy, by the way?
I used to be. I think I'd say the older the kids got, the less of a Disney guy I became, to where it's more like, oh, is the line really going to be that long? Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here. You guys go have fun. All right, so let's switch gears and talk some basketball because there is a big game coming up. Before we get to specifically the game, we played a quote from Coach Pope where he said that he and Coach Few are certainly both open to the idea of continuing to play after this year. Would you like to see that happen?
Sure. When you leave the West Coast Conference, you leave most of those teams behind. But the 2 teams that will always have perennial value for you, for your resume, are going to be Gonzaga and St. Mary's. And how often BYU wants to go back to Moraga, I'm not so sure. That's been
That's what I'm saying.
Moraga's been tougher than Spokane historically.
Well, and
for
they
BYU.
won't leave the state of California for a non-conference, so.
So I'm probably more likely with Gonzaga than St. Mary's right now. But either way, Gonzaga is always going to be a great game. And the schedule will be tough enough in the Big 12. You're not going to go load your non-conference, right?
Yeah.
But you're still going to have some resume high points every year in non-con, and Gonzaga would be a natural. And then beyond that, anywhere in California, anywhere that keeps kind of that West Coast vibe with BYU fan base that have been so supportive of BYU in the WCC days, I think it'd be great to have as well.
Maybe I'm a party pooper. I don't know. But for the first 2 years, I just feel like BYU, because the transition is going to be so tough.
It may not be right away this happens,
yeah.
but I think long-term Coach Few and Coach Pope will always try and keep each other.
I'm okay with that. I just want a little break.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Ross and Rachel situation. They need to take a break. Just need a break.
And let's also remember that the Big 12 is going to be involved in these intra-conference challenges every year. Those will obviously be resume high points every year. You'll have those points already, but Gonzaga will always be a great game for BYU to have.
As far as tomorrow's game goes, BYU's metrics in the net, they're better than they have been. Number 89 last I saw. I haven't looked
88
this morning.
today.
Okay, 88, so they jumped up 1 spot as of this morning. 75 in Ken Palm last I saw as well. Those are decent metrics.
The UVU loss moved into Q2, for example. So BYU has in Q3 and Q4 right now just the one South Dakota setback. That will be the blemish. Good teams have one, a lot of good teams have that bad game that shows up. Hasn't been that way for BYU. They had one last year, have one this year. UVU is actually turning out to be not a bad loss at all, the way it turns out. What a win would do, you'd have a winning record in Q1 all of a sudden. And you'd be closer to 500 in Q1 and Q2. I think a team that beats Gonzaga with the resume BYU already has is at least an NIT team. I think what it does is it kind of assures that BYU can think about postseason very realistically, with still higher hopes beyond that. But it'd be great in a lot of ways, obviously.
Yesterday, I interviewed Foose for radio pregame,
Right.
And we were talking about obviously the game, and he brought up how the matchup with Drew Timme last year really affected him. Like Timme had such a great game. He just said that performance has stayed with me, and he's used that as motivation and looking forward to this matchup. It feels like Drew Timme's been there for about 13 years.
Yeah.
What do you make of the matchup against him specifically in this? Because he's just an absolute terror.
Yeah, well, Foose is not alone in that feeling. There are a lot of really good post players in college basketball who are dealing with PTSD, the T for Timme in this case, post-Timme stress disorder. and so, yeah,
the real thing.
He's probably in good company. Yeah. But I think Mark Pope said it in his media availability yesterday. I don't know that anyone's had a good answer exactly to how it is you handle Drew Timme. Gonzaga's all but unbeatable when he scores even just 20 points, which is kind of an average game for him. I think they're, 36-3 maybe when he scores 20 or more. It's a crazy number. And crazy numbers are what kind of Gonzaga specializes in right now. They have 91 straight wins over unranked teams. They've even won 34 straight games in January. They don't lose in there. This is their best month. Of all the months they play in, January is their best month. And it's interesting because January is when you assert yourself in your league, right? And put yourself beyond everybody else and say, we're going to do it again, which they've always done. One of the craziest numbers Gonzaga's got going for it, they lost to San Diego, at San Diego 9 years ago. Okay, almost a decade ago. They lost at USD. Since then, they're 115-0 against every other West Coast Conference team except St. Mary's and BYU. So they will lose to the league's best teams occasionally, meaning St. Mary's and BYU, but they won't lose to anyone else ever. That's why they just continue to run this league. They never, ever slip up. Again, St. Mary's and BYU will give them good games, and occasionally they'll drop one, very rarely, but other than that, forget about it. And that's where everyone else has issues.
And Gonzaga got pushed to the limit last week against two non-St. Mary's BYU teams.
Double-digit deficits in both games.
Yeah.
What happens in the end, though? There they are.
They win. Yep.
They find a way.
And BYU knows the heartache. A 14-point lead in Vegas, things couldn't have been going any better. And in a span of about 5 minutes, the game turned and flipped, and that was that. They were a remarkable program, playing ahead, playing from behind. And again, the rarity of the last couple of games is they have spent so much time trailing. That's not normal for them. And it's all a matter of degrees, right? But you look at Gonzaga from last year to this, they're not the 1 or 2 team. They're only the number 8 team.
Yeah.
Right? They're not scoring as much. They're allowing a few more points, but they're still the top shooting team in all college basketball. They're still top 10 in scoring. So again, it's really a matter of degrees in terms of, is this as good as other great Gonzaga teams? Maybe just a little off. But a little off still means a great Gonzaga program. They've won 9 in a row coming into this game.
Well, they're 3 losses, all ranked teams: Texas, Purdue, and Alabama.
Yeah, and since the NCAA went to the quadrants, they don't have anything other than Q1 losses.
Yeah.
Right? They've never had anything as much as even a Q2 loss, I don't believe. So they've been perfect in where they need to be, and so in every way, they're just a juggernaut.
Great stuff, Greg. Good to talk football and basketball with you. Don't
Always a
give
pleasure.
Jason the jacket for that matter.
I'll have it waiting in your office.
Ooh.
You can wear it for the day.
Oh, just for the
You can have it. You can borrow it.
Is there a lease to own option? Is that possible?
Rent a swag.
Yes.
I think it's been done.
Yes, it has. Yes,
Or
great
Jason,
show.
$30 a month. You can have anything you want in Greg's closet for the day.
I'm gonna treat myself. Okay.
All right, Jason, I've already got a Christmas gift idea for next year. So.
Very nice. All right, listen live as BYU hosts 8th-ranked Gonzaga tomorrow night in the Marriott Center. Pre-game coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern Time on BYU Radio and the BYU Radio app.
You know.